Hello, Murphy Daily, written by Murphy here with another book review. This is actually part of my series of American literature, or The Immigrant's Guide to American Literature. This is my review of Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. Wow. This is a book of poetry, and it has rocked my world. Walt Whitman, American, born in 1819, considered part of the Transcendentalist movement, but also I find he's also part of the realist movement of poetry. He is famously quoted in Dead Poets Society, "I sound my barbaric yawp." That comes late. This poem, oh my gosh. This poem is a love song to America and a love song to every person in America. And one of the beautiful things about America is it's a very big tent, and any person can be America. Come on down, any person. He brings in the perspective of freedom. He says a lot. No, we don't call anyone our superior, Americans. So he's from the edition that I read is the 1855 edition. The word is that he wrote this book and kept writing it throughout his life. He wrote it and then he edited it and kept going with it the whole way through. Because it was worth it. It was worth redoing. So there's many different editions, but this one is kind of the canon, right? I don't know. It's a poem, but it is not a poem with rhyme or meter. Therefore, my American author predecessor, is the father. Walt Whitman is considered the father of free verse. So he did what he said. He did what he was talking about in the book. And he said, we decide what is true and what is right. That's how it is. Oh, he had this gorgeous, where is it? This gorgeous quote. I don't know if I can find it. I had it. But what sprang to mind is actually a biblical reference. Taste and see. He describes the world. He describes people. He describes life. He describes work. He describes sexiness. And he, shockingly, for the time, not for himself, because he read a lot, and so, he got into the Greeks, but he talked about sex with men and women in this story with delight. He at the time he was considered pornographic. I don't think he got even R-rated, really. He just described appreciation for male bodies and women's bodies, and he had described in just rapturous detail appreciation for everything, which is what the title of this poem, Leaves of Grass. It's a blade of grass. It's not even really a leaf. It's not, but he says it is. He makes it bigger than it has previously been. Let's see, what did I say? He talks about freedom and deciding for yourself what is true and what is right. He describes America, not saying America is perfect, but it's where we are from. It's where he was from. And he's like, we are these things. And he makes it as big a possible as a tent as possible. He talks about women. He talks about men. He says all the immigrants. He brings up people from Africa, too. Because this was 1855, right? Slavery was still going on. He brings it. He includes them in this poem of rapturous appreciation for all people and their right to know for themselves. He also brings up the library. I'm like, yes, he talks about the library. Is that an American thing? To be like, I'm in love with the library. The library will give me everything. But even the library saying that they are library with all the books of the experts, they're not more expert than me. I get to decide. I get to decide for myself what is true for me, and all of it is great. And even what is ugly is also great. Wow. This is a most uplifting, encouraging book, and my American brother, Walt Whitman, gave it to the world. It really tells us who we are. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of poem. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous poem, book length. And he invented it. He invented free verse, which everyone went, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to use beautiful images and beautiful allusions. And that's enough. We don't have to make everything rhyme. We don't have to make the words so rigid. It's okay just to be beautiful. Wow. Walt Whitman. I'm not the only one that thinks that. The whole world said, oh, this. The whole world said, oh my gosh, this is something of value, and we need to take notice. And he kind of changed everything. So that is my review of Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. That genius, that free thinker, that man who made his own way and said, all of us can do it too. We have the right. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you think of it. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let's keep the conversation going.